Oops. All right, I think we're ready to start. Welcome everybody. Like this says, feel free to join without video. Y'all don't need it on. And then if y'all could mute your audio for now, that would be great. If you have any questions during the presentation, if you could ask them in the chat or just wait until the end, that would be great. And then I'll let Ashley take it away for now.
All right, so these webinar sessions are hosted by Rachael Lindberg. There's something on the screen.
Oh, there it goes. I was turning my volume up and it like blocks the stuff.
Oh man, Rachael Lindberg, a Master's of Counseling and Psychology practicum student, and Ashley McLeaf, that's me, a Master's Social Work practicum student or field student. We're both supervised by Mark Rem, LPC, and the director of the ASU Counseling Services. And these little webinars are informational and psychoeducational, and they're not intended to be used as psychotherapeutic treatment. So if you have any psychological or emotional discomfort, please don't hesitate to call the ASU Counseling Services at 325-942-2371. We can get you set up with an appointment. Or if you feel like you are in crisis, you can also contact the Crisis Helpline 24/7 at 325-486-6345. And then a little bit about us. I'm Ashley. I am a social work advanced standing graduate field student. I conduct intake I conduct intake assessments and provide case management services to students. After graduation, I will seek licensure as a licensed master social worker. And a fun fact about me is that I really love listening to podcasts. It's a good way for me to de-stress and kind of, especially now that we're social distancing, it's a good way to feel connection with other people, kind of listening into their conversations. And then I listen to about 10 or more podcasts, so listen to quite a few.
All right, I'm Rachel. I am the counseling psychology graduate practicum student. I do intake assessments and I can provide individual, couples, and group counseling. After graduation, I'm going to seek licensure as a licensed professional counselor. And my fun fact is that I share a birthday with one of my dogs, which is how I ended up with a dog. I wasn't going to get one until one was born with my birthday, and it was like a sign. So that's how that happened. And we can go ahead and move on to our actual webinar. So this is over test anxiety, and let's dive in.
Yeah, so what is this kind of test anxiety? So it's the experience of distress and anxiety during testing or performance situations, which is, it can happen in various different life events, I guess. So during academic exams, work evaluations, athletic performance, or like music or drama recital. It's kind of like test or performance anxiety. And then it is categorized as beyond normal stress related to academic performance because it impairs learning and can hurt performance. So it is normal to feel some anxiety around a test, especially like a big final, like we have finals week next week. It is normal to feel levels of stress around that, but whenever that stress turns into anxiety and it impairs your learning and hurts your performance, that's when we kind of carry it over. And then it can range from mild to severe, and it looks different from person to person. Anxiety can be helpful. Anxiety is a natural response in your body. There's a reason why we feel anxiety around things. So it's not always bad. So anxiety around tests can tell us that we're worried about our future, which with tests, they can impact your grade and make an effect on your GPA. So that's a pretty big a significant event. A healthy amount of anxiety can be motivation to do well and succeed for the future. But an unhealthy amount of anxiety can be debilitating and impair functioning. So, some causes of test anxiety, it could be if you have a history of poor testing performance, if you feel like you are unprepared, high stakes for the outcome of the performance, like if you have um, like this is your only test in the class and it accounts for a percentage of your grade. Um, Fear of failure, perfectionism, and then expectations we have for ourselves and others have for us. This is kind of important, especially now that a lot of college students are back at home with their families. They might be feeling that um, parental pressure, uh, high school. Yeah.
So, oh, sorry, go ahead. Did you have something else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So some symptoms of test anxiety, they kind of mimic just general anxiety symptoms, but some physical symptoms can include sweating, shaking, rapid heartbeat, dry mouth, fainting, and nausea or being fidgety. So some mild symptoms might just be some butterflies in your stomach. You know, when you first sit down, you got your pencil and your Scantron, or you're on the computer, might just feel a little bit of butterflies in your stomach. But if it's more on the more severe end of the spectrum, some people become physically ill, even to the point of the fainting or the nausea, and also having panic attacks. So mental behavioral symptoms are avoidance of exams, withdrawing from the class, or even the university as a whole. That's definitely on the more severe end of the spectrum. Self-medicating with substances, blanking out, negative self-talk, like kind of talking to yourself like, I'm such a failure, I'll never get this right, I'm going to fail the class, those kinds of things. Trouble concentrating and racing thoughts. And some emotional symptoms could be experiencing depression, low self esteem related to academics or even overall, anger, feeling of hopelessness or helplessness if the situation, I should say, can't get better. So just always thinking, you know, I'm never going to pass this class. I'm always going to be a bad test taker. I'm never going to be able to improve. Those kinds of feelings and thoughts. So I need to move this again. There's like no good place for me to put this little box with everybody's faces on it. Okay, so some tips and tricks for tackling test anxiety. Studying and preparing for the test or the evaluation. Utilizing relaxation techniques. And those can include deep breathing, which is breathing in for about 4 seconds, holding it for about 4 seconds, breathing out for about another 4, and then holding again for another 4. Just kind of in a little box. Doing that before you take the test, while you're studying, during the test, and maybe even after to help you relax after you finish it. Meditation, progressive muscle relaxation, and positive self-talk. So telling yourself, I can do this. I studied for this. I know what I'm doing. I already have an A or B in the class, so I'm going to be okay. Those kinds of things. And then also replacing your negative thoughts with the positive thoughts, which is goes along with the positive self-talk. Don't tell yourself that you're going to be a failure. You know, we are our own worst critic, and we would never talk to ourselves how a friend would talk to us. So something that I like to recommend to my clients and really anybody is to talk to yourself as if you're talking to a friend. Just tell yourself, like, even though you might not get the grades you want, you're still going to pass the class, or you're still going to get a good enough grade for what you need for the future. So also be nice to yourself. Remember that you're human and it's okay to make mistakes. We can't do anything perfectly. Although we can strive to do our best, it's okay if it's not quite, doesn't quite get the outcome that we want. The main thing is that you try your hardest, you try to the point where you can get what you need to move on. And although grades matter, to an extent, they're not the only important aspect of our lives that we need to focus on. I know that the whole point of college is to get grades, to get a degree, to get a job, and it kind of spirals on into this whole big thing. But grades aren't the only part of ourselves, of our personality. You know, we also have hobbies and friends and families and partners, pets, and just other aspects of our lives that we can focus on and enjoy. And also just developing good test taking skills. This is something that not everybody learns in high school. Um, and we kind of have to teach it to ourselves in college. So just reading the question carefully, take your time, double check your answers, read the directions correctly. That's a big, big thing is reading the directions. Sometimes we like to kind of move on quickly and just get right into it, but reading the directions sometimes can make or break our grade. So, really quickly, I have a YouTube video for y'all to watch that kind of summarizes all of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this YouTube video in the chat for everybody to access. And also the webinar that we're doing right now will be posted on our YouTube, so it can be looked at again in the future. So what I'm going to do is escape out of here. Show this one, and we'll play this. It's about 5 minutes.
You ever been studying hard and felt prepared? Walk into your mind goes blank.
Ashley just told me that y'all can't even hear the video. Let's see here. I actually have no idea how to get it so that y'all can hear it. I don't know how about what I can do is I can just share this video in the chat for everybody to look at, and then you can watch it on your own time. We're still messing around with how to do these webinars, and so it's not perfect. So let's go ahead and exit out of that. That way we don't necessarily waste time, or if y'all are watching a video that just doesn't even make sense. So let me see here. Okay. I will get that copied.
Oh, sorry. Can I interject just a second?
Of course.
So, also a little bit with developing test taking skills. You talked about how you might not have learned that in high school. So the big thing, especially now that classes are all online, we do not have experience with particularly taking online tests and using the app that a lot of professors are very fond of. So that can create some very specific online testing anxieties. So some good tips and tricks to kind of work through that as well.
Mm-hmm. So, although most people can kind of get over their test anxiety or at least learn how to manage it, some other people really struggle with managing it and how to incorporate those skills into their lives. So if your test anxiety is debilitating to the point where your academic functioning is impaired and the strategies you've tried have not helped at all, you can contact a licensed mental health professional either in the community or here at ASU's counseling services. So if this is something that you've struggled with most of your life and it just really has not gotten any better, you've tried different strategies and just nothing seems to help, it might be a good idea to just consider asking for help from somebody who can help you kind of work through those strategies and help with any negative self-talk. So that's really what kind of impairs our test-taking skills. And then there's also no shame in asking for help, especially if getting that help can improve your life. We have tons of clients up here, and everyone has something different that they come in for. So, we are here for you. We are here to help you. And there's just no shame in asking for help. We all need a little bit of help. It just depends on the area that we need help in. So I just wanted to share this list of resources while I have y'all. So this is the resources that we have through ASU or just out in the community. So there's the National Suicide Prevention Line, the Trevor Lifeline, which is for LGBT youth, the National Sexual Assault Hotline, the Veterans Crisis Line, and then those also, most of them have text lines too. So there's a Veterans text line, a crisis text line, and then the Trevor Lifeline for text messages. We have the ASU Crisis Helpline, the ASU Police Department phone number, and the ASU Counseling Services phone number. We have an Instagram. It's resilient_rams, and we post little tips and tricks and videos and stuff on there. And our website is angelo.edu/counseling. If you want to look for a counselor in your area, you can visit Psychology Today and filter it out by what looking for, maybe who accepts your insurance, or if you want a specific gender for your counselor. And also there's therapy assistance online, Psych Hub, and YouTube. Those are all posted on our website that ASU students have access to access resources like webinars, pretty similar to this one, and you can filter that out through a specific thing that you want to look at. So I just want to say good luck on your finals. Study hard, take a deep breath, and just show your professors what you can do. And also at this time, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask that now. And I'm going to exit out of this so I can get that YouTube link for y'all. It's really just a summary of what we went through here. It doesn't really have anything too different, just so that y'all can watch it on your own time and maybe kind of recap what we went over. Does anybody have any questions? You can ask it in the chat, or you can unmute your audio and ask it through there. Anything? Nothing? All right, that's perfectly okay. Go ahead and save that YouTube video if you want it, and be on the lookout for this on our YouTube. Ashley, do you have anything?
That's it. Those are some awesome tips and little tricks on how to fight anxiety and kind of cope with it and be able to succeed and make a good grade. That's at this semester, which is pretty exciting. It's been changed up a bit, but
For sure. All right. I hope everybody has a good finals week. We wish y'all the best of luck. And if you need anything, feel free to call up here at the office, and we can hopefully get you connected with what you need. Have a good weekend.